Why did the best principal stop caring? Everyone knew Principal Sanders was the best principal in the whole state. This guy stood at the front door every single morning and greeted each kid by name as they walked in. While other principals hid in their offices doing paperwork, Sanders ate lunch with the losers nobody talked to. "No kid eats alone in my school," he would tell us every week. He just knew how to make even the worst kids feel like they mattered. I remember when some girl's dad got deported and she stopped coming to school. Principal Sanders actually drove to her apartment every morning for 3 weeks to pick her up himself. He paid for her lunch with his own credit card the entire year. During state testing week, he brought in hundreds of donuts at 6 in the morning because he knew half of us skipped breakfast. "Can't test on an empty stomach," he yelled as he was throwing powdered donuts at us. Every Friday, he did special handshakes with different kids and remembered all 200 different combinations perfectly. Kids who sold pills at other schools became honor students at ours. He learned Spanish just to talk to immigrant parents in their language at parent-teacher conferences. The guy drove students home when their parents couldn't pick them up and showed up to every single game, concert, and school play, even for kids whose own parents never came. Other principals from around the state would visit to study his methods because our school had the lowest suspension rate and highest graduation rate in the region. Parents literally moved into our district just so their kids could go to his school. But one day, it suddenly felt like we were walking into a different school. Nobody could understand what happened to Principal Sanders. There were 3 police cars parked outside and metal detectors at every entrance that hadn't been there before. Principal Sanders stood behind bulletproof glass and wouldn't make eye contact with anyone. This 7th grader dropped a box cutter he used for art class and got arrested on the spot for bringing a weapon to school. 2 boys who were play wrestling at lunch got expelled for 10 days for fighting, even though they were best friends just messing around. A girl who was sobbing in the hallway because her grandmother died got written up for disrupting the learning environment. When kids ran up for their Friday handshakes, he gave them detention slips without even looking at them. "Physical contact is prohibited," he said like a robot. He stopped eating in the cafeteria and locked his door during lunch. Parents went crazy trying to schedule meetings with him, but he refused to see anyone and only communicated through the vice principal or email. The warm guy who knew everyone's name became a ghost who walked through the halls in silence, always looking straight ahead. This went on for 6 straight weeks while test scores dropped and parents started pulling their kids out of school. Then the secretary's daughter told everyone what really happened. It turns out someone had taken a photo of Principal Sanders hugging a crying 8th grade girl whose brother had overdosed and died over Christmas break. The photo was edited to remove the other teachers and counselors standing nearby and posted on a Facebook page called Predators in Our Schools. Under the photo was a made-up story about how Principal Sanders groomed kids. Within 2 hours, 3 fake accounts had posted stories about Principal Sanders touching them when they were alone in his office. One even said, "He made me get under his desk to blow him when I was only 12. The post said he picked kids with problems at home because he knew nobody would believe them. They sent screenshots to the school board, the police department, and every parent's email address they could find. The investigation found absolutely nothing because none of it was real, but the damage was already done. Someone spray-painted pedophile on his house and his wife's car, got its tires slashed. People threw bricks through his windows with death threats attached. The girl he hugged tried to explain what really happened, but people accused her of protecting her abuser and said she was brainwashed. Principal Sanders' lawyer had told him that he was screwed no matter what. Every hug is evidence. Every high five is grooming. And juries always believe crying parents over male teachers. Even though he never did anything wrong, the guy who had saved hundreds of kids' lives couldn't even look at students anymore without risking his freedom.